we actually have a number of things to talk about before we start today in our pre-call. And Caitlin, we've been watching for a couple of weeks now, actually maybe longer than that. So Lisa, maybe you want to set up Caitlin a little bit. The smoothie workshop, we can go to the next slide, Joe. That was, right. So anyway, Lisa, maybe set up Caitlin a little bit and tell us, because she's got a couple of things she's been doing.
Well, first and foremost, let me tell you that Caitlin is a brand new director. She did so good. We promoted at the end of last month. She's got incredible volume already this month, so we're really proud of her. And we won't go into it in depth, but Caitlin has an extremely busy life with very many children and another job, and she homeschools, and it's amazing what she does, and she has really found a way to do some good creative stuff with Facebook. And so this event here, Caitlin, we'll have you tell us about the Healthiest School Year event and how it went, but then we're going to move into the next slide, because what you're doing in September blows my mind. It's so smart. So share away. We're excited.
Yeah, I think the key for me was consistency, and I hadn't found in my business yet anything that I could do consistently, because like Lisa said, I have all these kids and I homeschool and I have all these jobs, and so what I really found was that by doing these Facebook events that I could have something that I could tell myself, I'm going to do this every month and I'm going to make it consistent and I'm going to grow in that way. And so this Healthiest School Year that we did last month, we had between the four of us, or maybe I guess 5 leaders that we had over 90 people attend. We had members come. We had people that hadn't, been ordering for an extended period of time that kind of have come back and started ordering again on a regular basis. And so it was really, really good to just kind of get that excitement going.
And the dialogue in that event was amazing. The questions were good. The answers were good. I mean, it was a real cultural experience with all these moms together really talking about these hot issues. It was great.
And are there materials that we can attach on that, Caitlin, for people who would like to set one of those up?
Well, what we decided... Go ahead, Caitlin.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, the hard part was that we didn't really ever, we don't have a script that we did all together. We had all done a few different things. So, Lisa, was there something else that you were going to add to that?
Well, yeah, so what we played around with, because that was the problem, where do we gather all this data and all that? What we decided is we actually can post the link to the past event, and Joe and I tested out, and someone can click on that link and go to the past event and view the whole entire event if they want. So that's Barb, kind of what we thought would be easiest, and I know we played around with it.
Because the work of the Facebook event is lining all that up, but once you've got it, then you can duplicate with it. And that's the key to our business, is always looking at what can other people immediately turn around and do themselves. So love that you did that. And so the results of that, Caitlin, from the How to Help Our Kids Have Their Best Year Ever, the results from that, did you have a chance to kind of quantify that?
For me, I know I had one new member. I had 2 members, one who hadn't ordered, like I said, for a long time, and is now putting in 100+ TV orders every month. I had one other builder who had I use the term builder very loosely, who had, signed up with a Gold Pack about a year ago and never really done anything with it, and who was all of a sudden really excited about the ease, that she sees with us and that consistency. So in terms of numbers for me, I've increased at least 500 PV, for that month, and I think that I'm going to be able to continue that kind of going down the road. And like I said, there was 4 other leaders that were doing it as well, and I don't even know all of their numbers, but I know they were also pretty amazing.
Excellent.
So,
and see, I also like the idea of doing it jointly with other people. Very good. Okay, so let's go to that next slide, because you then came up with another idea.
Yes. So some of the feedback that we got from the event in August, the Healthy School Year one, was that there were some people that were really intimidated by the Facebook event. And it's very kind of like in your face, and you're trying to have to figure out where things are, and there's a ton of people commenting. And so it was a little bit intense for people that were there. And so I think for some of the people who weren't as Facebook savvy, it was very confusing. So what we decided to do this month was to make it kind of a month-long event. And so we're trying to post a couple of different things each week, and we're doing challenges each week with different, so the first week was a kitchen challenge, and how can you clean your kitchen with the Get Clean kit, and the next one was laundry, and then this coming week we're going to do the floor. And so just kind of doing different things so people can see those really great before and after pictures that you always get with all of our wonderful cleaning products. And we're really trying to kind of pump everybody up with this Get Clean kit before we don't get the free membership with it anymore, and after October. So we're wanting to make sure that anybody that wants to Get Clean kit is going to get one by the end of the month. So.
Last week we had Stephanie Bruce on, and she was showing us before and after pictures that one of her customers had posted, same thing, and they all posted it on their Facebook pages, and they ended up selling. One was a scour off. It was like the bottom of a dishwasher, wasn't it, Joe? And
I don't know. I was.
Yes, you were communing. I remember. Anyway, it was so. I think they sold 6 scour offs, and then they did another. Then they did the next week. They did the deodorant cream, and they sold like 5 deodorant creams.
That's right.
It just really is effective. So I'm going to scoot over to Michelle. Let me just see. Are there?
Well, and let me just jump in here. So one of the brilliant things is a person, if they wanted to participate in this, they had to buy a Get Clean kit. So it was kind of like an entrance fee. But it was just, it's such a smart thing. And another one of the leaders that is doing this with Cassie said that just by calling a few people to talk about the event, she sold Get Clean kits. So I think they're onto something really creative here. It's really
Lisa,
smart.
what did you mean they had to buy a Get Clean kit to participate?
So it was kind of like a group, like a club that Caitlin set up here. And if you wanted to participate in the Sparkling September event and participate in all the weekly challenges and stuff, you had to buy a Get Clean starter kit.
They got prizes then.
And then they got prizes for posting what they were cleaning and sharing their tips. So it reminded me a little bit of the Better Together groups that we've talked about with the 180 program, right, where you buy a turnaround kit and you get to be a part of this Better Together group. It's similar to that, but it's just a month long, and it focuses on this awesome cleaning concept, and moms love to talk about stories.
It also gave you the chance, which what you both were saying earlier, to tell people about a deal. There is a real deal, and it goes away, and that's being an advocate for people, and that's why that very first session that we did when we started the semester where Becky outlined all the deals. There's what you can do to get $10 off your next any product. There's the deal of there were 13 ways you could get a free membership, and then there's the free shipping one. So I love that you did that. That's excellent.
And there's already someone asking real quick, Caitlin, what were some of the challenges that you did? So can you just give us an example of one or two of those, and then the weekly challenges?
Yeah, so all I really did was, I would say, challenge 1, the kitchen. So pick anything in your kitchen, and we had people do their ovens, we had people do their stovetops, I did my refrigerator, and then the second week it was laundry. So what can what kind of crazy stuff can you get out of your clothes or your kids' clothes or whatever else, and then we're going to do floor, and then I'm going to do kind of miscellaneous. So pick the dirtiest thing that you have anywhere and figure out how to clean it with our Get Clean kit. So it's just been really open and, kind of something that you're probably going to be doing anyway, but go ahead and just take some before and after pictures and earn some great prizes. So
I think it's brilliant. I really do. I think it's really, really good.
Idea.
You're awesome.
Okay, let's thank you. This pre-call time, by the way, as your folks are coming on, is what we use for sharing marketing strategies, and these have been great. So, Michelle, are you there?
I am.
Oh, there you are. So Michelle has had a very good year. Michelle is our girl who started her Shackley business in England on a military base, and she is now here in the United States land and in Florida, and she's about to appoint her very first director. Well, not your first director, but a director this month, and that was after about 8 weeks, Michelle?
Oh no, she's only been in the business 4 weeks.
Oh, I did that wrong. Okay.
She started 4 weeks ago. She started in the middle of August. No, it's like the end of August. Mm-hmm.
Oh my golly. Okay, so tell us about Crystal and what, because this month of September is a very important month we've been talking about because of this is the final month to reach either coordinator or executive coordinator, depending on what trip you might be aiming for. And so, and it is a significant month in qualifying for that chairman's retreat. And so tell us what kinds of things she did in order to generate that kind of volume in such a short period of time.
She is a powerhouse, first of all. She really took the whole Sharing Shackley and ran with it, sprinted with it. She's doing 3-way calls like crazy. She's actually picking up the phone and calling people. So if anyone ever shows interest through Facebook, she'll tell them, hey, can you call me? And she gets on the phone with them.
Hey, wait, I want to sit on that one for a minute.
Sure.
Because that's a really big issue for your age group, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And so
it's hard for me.
Okay, And what did you find when you went from texting and messaging to actually bringing that to a phone call?
She is actually getting orders from people, and she's learning a whole lot more about their needs when she's able to actually have a full conversation with them through the phone.
Right. And didn't you tell me that you came to the same conclusion?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I really, really love that. That's a wonderful distinction. So she's making these phone calls, making a lot of contact. Go ahead.
Yeah, she, 4 weeks into her business, she decided, she messaged me and I think Katie and said, I want to do a Facebook event on stress and anxiety because everyone that I'm calling and asking about health issues, she said, everyone says stress or anxiety. She said, so I want to do an event. And so she listened to one of the old webinars that you did, and she created the event herself, and she ran the event. I know, yeah.
Okay, and so that generated some new customers, and all right, and then she has found a business partner.
Yes, she just sponsored a gold this week, and next week she'll be sponsoring a gold plus, which means she'll earn her first power bonus. And on top of her 2 gold bonuses that she gets for each kit, and then she'll be a director. She will only need, with her PV right now. Oh, it did? Okay. Sorry. So she is, right now, her PV is at 800. But with the customers that came to her Facebook event and the Gold Plus that's coming in, that'll be another 800. So she'll only need 400 PV to qualify for director, which she already has planned out because she has about 20 more people on her list to call that have shown interest.
That's so great. That is really, really excellent. So we want to see examples of people who move to director very quickly because it's the same amount of effort. You can either spread it out, dribble it out over 6 months, or you can clear the decks and do all that work in this case, probably 6 weeks.
And Barb,
I guess 6 weeks, yeah.
The thing we have to remember on what you just said, too, is if you dribble out your effort, your results will be dribbling in. They go together. So you clear the deck, just get out there, be diligent, consistent for a relatively short period of time, and you can really get something going. Because results follow our effort.
Well, we'll have Crystal come for a visit. She was unable to do it today. I think she had a doctor's appointment, but and especially in a couple of weeks, because we're going to be talking now for the next few weeks about assembling our business teams, and she's already identified 2 folks. So we'll want to hear from her what she said to them, how she approached them, what she sent them. That's the kind of thing we're going to be doing today. And let's until everybody finds their system, finds their words for beginning to assemble their business teams. So, Joe, you found a nice quote that you liked.
Yes, there's a book called The Flip-Flop CEO, and Lisa, I picked this up from you with a posting you had on Facebook. It's a mother-daughter team that are in network marketing business together, and they wrote this book. And I came across this quote, and it really impacted me because it was talking about women and that we love our independence, but what we really want is influence. For women, the ability to effect change and make an impact is paramount. We don't just want to better ourselves. We want to better our children, our schools, our communities, and our planet. That's kind of a good rallying cry.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I went and got their book, and it's my new favorite. I'm raving about it. It is so, so good. So go to Amazon.com if you need it, or wherever you find your books, but it's good, very good. So,
Thank you. Okay, time to roll. Thanks. Get us started, Lisa.
All right. Well, welcome, everyone. We are in session number 4 of our fall business training, 100 Days to Amazing. And today we're going to talk about the value in the appeal of home-based businesses in today's economy. And it's going to be a great day. We're going to break some things down and really get some good creative juices flowing. So we've been talking about the value of September and how important it is because it's really a pivotal month in a lot of different things going on in Shaklee. If you're going for the trip, you must be the rank of coordinator for Los Cabos, executive coordinator for Tuscany, the chairman's retreat. We are just into full swing for earning for that. Here's what I want people to think about September. We are just barely over the midpoint, and tremendous things can happen in the last half. Tremendous. I've seen, well, gosh, look at Michelle's gal story. Holy cow. What happened in the first half? So if you're at a point and you're like, gosh, I haven't had what I've wanted to have happen and I'm feeling a little down, don't call it quits. It's the biggest mistake we can ever make is quitting before it's done. Run to the last minute of the last day of the last hour of the month because you can do fantastic things. So there's my little teeny itty bitty soapbox. And so then you can see we're going to talk about generating PV, and of course we are right smack in the beginning still of the 100 Days to Amazing. So we're running hard, staying focused, and keeping on track. So we have a few objectives for today. We want to understand the benefits of developing business partners. Other than the really obvious ones, we're going to break it down to some specifics and the value of the appeal of home-based business. And this is a great conversation. It, I think, gives us some confidence and understanding of how much people need what we have. We're going to talk about the conversation and then simple steps for sharing. So lots of good stuff.
Yes, and I think that it's always really important to remember that there are two aspects of our business that are both so important, and having that balance is pivotal to really having success. And developing a customer base, like we talked about last week, and then assembling our team of business leaders. And so last week, like I said, we talked about the customers, and that's a great. If you missed it last week, go back and listen. And the skills of inviting people to the products and to membership, but this week we'll really discuss how we can identify business partners and assemble that team.
Very good. Very good. All right, so developing business partners help us qualify for fast track bonuses, and they are substantial. So we're going to give you some fresh perspective on what you're sitting on there with fast track. It really, really helps people develop immediate income while they're working on creating this large, fantastic residual income machine, right? And there's really something that we need to always remember. It's never too late to participate in fast track, because the obvious way is when you become a director, you're in fast track yourself, but as a business leader, everyone you help in Fast Track makes you eligible for all of your first levels earning the matching bonuses. So Fast Track is an ongoing program that all of us participate in all the time, and it's a really good one. So let's look at this. This was a fun sheet. I thought it was really cool to kind of compartmentalize this. We're going to talk about Fast Track just to senior coordinator so we can wrap our brains around a 1-year segment, okay? So the timetable begins the minute you become a director. So a person grows and becomes a director, however long it takes, it starts at that point, which is wonderful because now they're in a position and they've kind of got some things going and they're going to help other people. So if you become a senior director in the first 6 months and you hold for 2, you get $1,000 over the next 10 months. So hopefully that makes sense. You get $1,000 fast track bonus for hitting senior director in 6 months. Coordinator within 9 months. Senior coordinator within 12 months. And so you can see how the payout goes there. So thank you to whoever did that research and wrote that down because I've always been baffled by that. You can see how that works. But here's the part.
Lisa, yes. Something just struck me that when you were just talking, and fast track does not start till you get to director, which really then emphasizes and validates what we've been trying to say to people is in terms of assembling your business team. Get on your way to director. Find your business partner so you've got 2, 3, 4 people to work with, and you can shoot to senior director then easily.
That's right.
In 12
That's right.
months.
And then what you do is you tell your directors that I build a base to director. Now I'm going to help you do the very same thing and you duplicate that process. But go back one more second because here's what Joe and I were talking last night, and I don't know why I got so excited, but if you just look at this layout, if you look at a 12-month plan to hit senior coordinator, which is very clear, 2 first-level directors and 10,000 OV in the whole group, a 12-month plan, you've earned an extra $9,000 for doing that in a 12-month period. So I don't know why that made me so happy, but that's just a lot of money. 12 months is a long time, and it's
we can all find something to do with $9,000.
Yeah, right. Think about that. You know, so
happy. Right. Well, actually, that's why we invited Mary Comer to join us this morning because that is exactly what she is doing.
Yay.
And Mary became Mary. I'm sure you're there.
Oh, I'm here.
Well, you just muted yourself. I know the moms with the babies, they've learned their mute buttons. Good morning, Mary. And Mary became a director in July, and she had been running very strong PV for about 3 months, even up till then, right, Mary?
Yes, I was kind of that wavering right before I got to 2000, but I wasn't really sure if I could do the whole be a director thing. So I never really pushed the limit to get to 2000.
Right. So you didn't do what Lisa just recommended that you do.
I did not do that. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Well, there's your different personality styles right there. You got the cautious one on the one side. You got the jump in and get it done on the other. Right. So, but here's the point is, I want you to share your story, Mary, and how you found several people interested in the business. So by the time you became a director, you were in a very good position for Fast Track. So tell us just briefly how you got interested in Shaklee and then why you decided to share it with your friends.
So I originally was just introduced to the products, and that's all I was interested in. At the time, I was a second grade product, and then hold on.
Mary, you're fading in and out. Oh, okay, you're fading.
Is that better?
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. So you were teaching at the time. Okay.
I was a teacher, and so I wasn't interested in the business. I really wasn't looking for anything but the product, and of course, didn't take long for us to fall in love with all of the products. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I quit my job as a second grade teacher. So I originally was approached about the business just when I was looking for a way to offset the cost of my product. Because I knew I wanted to continue to use Shaklee, but being a stay-at-home mom, I think a lot of us can relate that usually there's a lot more financial concerns. Mm-hmm. So that's when I was introduced to the business, and that was my main goal, was just to offset some of the cost of my products. And at first, however, I kind of was like, nope, don't want to do the business. That's the reason I'm quitting my job as a teacher. I don't want to work. But I cannot stress enough because Kate Odom is my upline. And I was seeing her do the business. So I thought I didn't want to do Shaklee because I didn't want to work. But then I was seeing Katie do it. And I was seeing that she didn't seem like she was working like I was working when I was teaching. And I was seeing her be successful. And I cannot stress that enough because
so many times we want to complain to even family members sometimes, like, oh, I'm stressed with Shackley, or this is hard with Shackley. And people don't want to hear that. People want to see what you have going on.
Smart.
And so, you know, I just talked constantly about how much I love Shackley, even though really my business wasn't doing much at the beginning at all. Like, there were months where I didn't even get a paycheck a couple of times, but that wasn't a huge concern for me at the time. But everyone knew that I loved Shackley. And so then it eventually got to a point where I realized that other moms wanted what I had, because I wasn't working. I was at home. I was on PTO. I was in my son's classroom. I was leading a Bible study. So I was doing all of these things that I dreamed of doing by being a stay-at-home mom. But at the same time, I was still earning an income. And so I finally got to a point this March when I realized, like, that other moms wanted what I had. And, you know, I realized that I had a couple people sign up as a distributor, and I think someone mentioned it earlier that you use the term distributor loosely because they weren't really doing anything. But I wasn't showing them how to do anything. But once I caught on to the idea that other moms, I guess I should use that term, moms, because that's kind of who I focused on, is other moms just like me who want to do this. And I realized, you know, that some of them want the financial aspect of it. Some of them want to just make an impact in the world around them. And sometimes they really want the community. And that is by far the biggest thing that has drawn me to the business and wants me to continue to do the business, because I get to do it with some of my best friends. And the people I'm drawing in are going to be like some of my best friends too. And I think I had this dream of being a stay-at-home mom and having all these play dates and all these things to do. But when you realize when you're at home, you don't have that connection with so many friends. You know, but through Shackley, it's like I have friends all across the country. And it's like I have a friend coming in town who I've never met, but I know her through Shackley, and I'm so excited that I actually meet her in person, because she's someone who I consider a close friend now. And, you know, to me, like, this business is so much more than, like, a business, what people think when you think about, you know, that word. You know, it's so much more, and I think, you know, Harper said it earlier, too, about the community. You know, so I think I show so much about the community, and I always post pictures when I'm together with other Shackley people. And, you know, I feel like that's what I get the most feedback on, is, you know, people seeing us do it together.
Oh, we have heard this now several times from the young moms, and it's really something for us to be aware of, that while the goal for so many of us was to be home with our children, what we realized is the need for community becomes much greater because you can get very isolated. Right. So I love what you're expressing, Mary, because I think that that's certainly Bonnie Donahue's message when she has shared that she had 4 kids. She always wanted to be a mom, but it was getting feeling very isolated and lonely at times, and she just felt like she needed something to help her grow as a person. And the aspect of community, and I will acknowledge Facebook for this, because Facebook has certainly been a place that really builds community. It's just one more of our vehicles to help us stay connected. So Mary, what I want to point out is, because of this, so you became a new director in July, but already you have at least 1 director and even possibly 2 who will be qualifying as director in the month of September.
Yes.
And
very kind of crazy.
That's kind of cool. And so that means for sure you're going to be a fast track senior director, and you'll earn $1,000 for that, and that will be paid out over the next 10 months. You'll hold that rank for 2 months, for the month of September and October, and then you'll begin getting these additional checks starting in November, right? And then when the second person goes out, could be in September, but any time in the first 9 months, you're going to receive an additional $3,000. And when you help all those new directors build to 3,000 so that they can qualify for the new directors conference. Then you'll be doing as a group about 10,000, and that will make you a senior coordinator, and you have all the way until you went out in July, so you have all the way till next June to get that accomplished, and they're going to pay you another $5,000. So we have an example here with Mary.
Right.
You know, this mom who was just sitting there, just sharing with her friends and telling her how much she loved what she was doing, living her life on Facebook, and she's going to be $9,000 richer in a year.
And it could be more than that. If she has people who get on Fast Track, she'll earn their matching bonuses.
Well, let's go to that next slide because I think that points that out.
Well,
have it.
Mary, you're just awesome, and we're so excited. We'll be celebrating with you when you start bringing in those bucks. And how cool is that? Because not only is she going to bring in extra thousands and thousands of dollars and bring a nice solid monthly paycheck in, but she's laying the foundation for the rest of their life now of really fantastic financial freedom. So I love it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about a Fast Track strategy, building coordinators. Whoops.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I just didn't memorize it. So there's two things you want to keep in mind when you're working with a new director. The first is power bonuses, and I had the funnest call the other day from just an adorable builder under one of our leaders, and she said, I got this notice from Shackley, and it looks like it has to do with $150, and I don't know why they want $150. And I said, read it to me. And I said, okay, you got an extra $150 today for a power bonus. And she goes, I did. And so I love that call. So cute. Surprise. But power bonuses are really fun, and they are a reward for getting active. And this little gal, she became a gold and sponsored 6 people in that first month, and then a couple people, and now she's got some power bonuses rolling in. So make sure you keep your eye on that and you talk about it, because it's a big morale boost when maybe your other part of your bonus check is $50, right? 150 extra bonus is huge. And then of course your fast track clock, which we just talked about, going through the things that they can hit by having this strategy. And it's just what Mary said, talking about the business, sharing it, and then having other people join your team, and then you grow.
Just a little suggestion, because those Fast Track bonuses, are paid in monthly installments. When those checks start coming in, you might want to have a Fast Track account so that you let that money accumulate to big chunks and not just fritter it away.
Oh, you're something significant with it.
Yes,
smart.
Right.
Okay, Harper.
And I think as we talk about, the community and all those things, they are very powerful. I even had a girl who is just deciding when she's going to join. She just had a baby like 2 weeks ago, and she said, I'm really just excited to be part of this community. Like that was what was her hurry to get involved, was to be part of the community that she's already seen. And that's exciting. And so along with purpose and passion, which are key elements of why people are attracted to home-based businesses, is that there are real financial struggles out there. And whether someone is interested in the business to replace an income, to be able to stay at home, or just to go alongside their income, the needs financially are very great. And one of my college students even was on a webinar with another college student who's in Shackley, who is I think an executive coordinator now, but she is paying for her whole college through her Shackley business while she's in school. So she's not even accumulating that student loan debt. So you have, and there's a great webinar that my wonderful husband did about that goes into the details of some of these things, but just what people can do if they're even making an extra $300 a month can totally change their life. And so to understand some of these needs that people have in all different stages of life that can really make a difference to their family, knowing those things. So we'll link that where that other webinar is, that you can get the details. But so right now, the things that people are dealing with now, but also for retirement. And my husband and I have talked about this quite a bit, that on the next slide, that Shaklee is ideal for retirement income, and I've seen when you're at we had at a January conference a couple years ago a session where we were talking to people who are over 80, and they what they're making. And these people who are in their 80s, and there's one even in her 90s, I think, are, have an income of $10,000, $15,000 a month at that age, and to have that as part of your retirement plan and doing something that you're passionate about. And one of the women was even just talking about how her passion is still helping kids with ADHD and how passionate she is about that. But they are being, taken care of with what they have built. And so the ability to build something that will continue into those times is really a valuable thing to offer people at whatever stage of life they're in, whether they're retired now and they need to make that income, or they want to plan that now as a young family we can have another option for retirement. So I think that just thinking about those things a little out of the box is really good to know different people that you may be able to help. And again, we're 2 slides over now, but the reality is, and if you're on Facebook, you see this quite a bit, that people are really starting to be disenchanted with their careers. The way that people are treated and valued in corporate America is getting in a lot of companies is not ideal. People are worn out from that. They're worn out from being underappreciated or working so hard and then not getting the promotion because of something political, or not being able to know that there's stability in their company. There are so many different things, and so there are a lot of people who are looking. They're looking for entrepreneurship. They're looking for the ability to have no glass ceiling and be able to build whatever they want and to own their own time. But I think that going back to making a contribution to others, being part of a community, purpose and passion is something that it took me a long time to share personally. For me, the original intent of being part of the Shaklee business was to stay at home. It was to earn an income to help my family. And it actually, I didn't enter into it looking for significance. I didn't enter into it looking for purpose. I mean, I had a passion for health and a passion for helping people, for sure. But the person that I became because of Shaklee wasn't something I was looking for, but something that I found. And I've been able to share that quite a bit and found that there are a lot of people who that's what they're looking for. And that our industry really offers the ability for people to come into entrepreneurship, to be trained, to be supported, to be encouraged, and to build something while changing other people's lives. And I love how when Roger talks about that, Roger Rennett talks about Shaklee, how people are only building businesses and being compensated financially for helping others. And that takes me back to that quote from that you shared, Joe, from the Flip Flop CEO is just fabulous and really encompasses that making a contribution to others.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is, I think, some incredible things that we need to pay attention about specifically for women. And so this comes from Robert Kiyosaki, a brilliant businessman, and he says statistics prove how much times have changed for women and point out that our need for real-life financial education is no longer a luxury. I think there's a lot of ways to look at this, but security is important, and having a plan matters. And kind of just, again, referencing the awesome webinar that Harper's husband did, we know that we will hopefully get older, and we do need to have something to live on and something to depend on. Depending on someone else for your financial future is like rolling the dice. That's kind of an uncomfortable but very true statement. So glass ceilings and limits to income are something that women have fought against for ages. Both disappear in the world of network marketing, and that is a very exciting thing that we have to talk about and offer with other women. So go ahead. All right, so let's look at some statistics then. 47% of women over the age of 50 are single. They are financially responsible for themselves. Women's retirement income is less. You can see there's a lot of probably reasons for that, but if a woman is away from the workforce because she has worked and taking care of her kids, that's going to be a big deal. So you can see the average woman's away 15 years compared to 1.6 for men. So there's a lot of the factor that goes into there. Then you have the lower salaries and many times no retirement benefits. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to be an empty nester in terms of this conversation, but I can't tell you, I bet you every 2 or 3 days I say, thank the Lord I don't have to enter the workforce. My youngest child just went to college and my life is completely different and I'm still wandering confused a tiny bit. But thank the Lord I don't have to go figure out what to do with myself because I've got something and it's good and I don't have to work for someone who's 21 because that would just horrible. Horrible, horrible. So women are expected to live an average of 7 to 10 years longer than men. So there's an interesting concept. And then, of course, they're expected to outlive their husbands sometimes 15 to 20 years. So it's a conversation that needs to happen. And elderly living in poverty is a reality. So we want to be a voice for change and option for women to be cared for and to be provided for. And we have a beautiful thing here in Shaklee. So go ahead. My favorite Facebook post that I've posted all year long, and I saw it come through, but look at this statistic. 82% of women who make over $100,000 a year, 82%. So not 20, not 50, 82% are in network marketing. Isn't that something? Yep. And that makes a powerful statement about our industry and the uniqueness of it and what it offers to women. And I'm just going to point this out. It goes perfectly with this slide. So I don't know who happened to watch the Oscars. I think it was the Oscars a couple months ago, and some woman got a beautiful Oscar, I guess, that's the award, and she made a statement about inequality in the acting world between men and women. And I was sitting there going, what? You guys make $1 billion. What are you talking about? You can't complain about nothing. My daughter came to me the next day and she goes, Mom, you know what she's talking about, right? And I said, no, I just thought she was just having a soapbox. She said, because we all do. I pick mine every day. But she goes, no, Mom, listen, this is the thing. And I am loosely remembering, but it's significant and I think we need to pay attention. The average man who gets an Oscar will go on to earn an average of like $1 million per film, okay? A woman in the industry who gets an Oscar will go on to earn about like an average of like $37,000 or $50,000. It was outrageous, the difference between a man and a woman in the acting industry. So what I'm saying is then just burn the image of that last slide into your head about how many women thrive in network marketing, and we know that this is a message that we need to get to everybody. I mean, but really it's very special for women because it can really utilize their skills. So there's no glass ceiling, and for women 50 or older trying to reenter, again, what I was talking about, the corporate world, that's a nightmare and a half. And then we talk about the inequality. Studies show with the same education and experience as male counterparts, women earn about 74 cents for every dollar. So I don't get it. It's 2015, and I'm slightly baffled by that. But it is a reality. So we have a special thing that has no bias whatsoever in any area, and we get to talk about it, right? So here's some other things that are really awesome to share and what it can do for women. Increase self-esteem. Just the idea that you have some say over your own security is a big one. Being able to not just hope and wish for your future to be okay, and all of us get to embrace that, right? But look at the self-esteem piece. Again, having to have some quality relationships, the culture that Mary so beautifully talked about, the support, and being able to really, I think, explore the gifts that you have been given. Women really can take some beautiful strengthening in their natural relationship skills and multitasking and all of that. And then control of time. We talk a lot about the time thing as women because all of us, for the most part, are doing some sort of a juggle. If it's not with your children, it's with helping your parents. And there's a lot of that's a lot on the plate, I think, for most women. And so being able to have some flexibility and control of the time it's the only way that it's worked for me. And I can't imagine being successful in anything else in a business other than Shaklee, because I was not going to quit taking care of my kids to be successful. So it's a really cool concept. So look at some additional needs for baby boomers. I can go down this list and say, yes, maybe college bills. Holy cow. That's the biggest fire I've had lit under me for years, is when we got that first college bill. May have neglected retirement funding. Yes. Still, maybe helping children financially. Darn it. Anyways, hope not, but maybe health issues and prevention, generating sufficient income to allow their spouse to leave. Now, this one I'm excited about. Becky talks a lot about this. This is a conversation that my husband and I have been having regularly for about 5 years, because we see it. Our business is going to turn a corner really soon where he has all the choices in the world. And he's been getting up and going to work day after day after day, doing stuff he hates, honestly, just to pay the bills for 25 years now. So there's a book. I saw it when I was buying my other book, the Flip Flop book. If we talk a lot about Sarah Robbins, she has a book out, and I can't remember the exact title, but it's something about getting your husband home. You know, building your network marketing business to bring your husband home. I love it, because
there's another book too out there, Lisa, called Retire Your Husband.
Yes, see?
Yeah, in that same vein. Yeah.
I love it. And that's a very emotionally powerful thing for people, because they want to be together, a lot of them.
You know, one of the reasons that we are doing this segment is we realize that in today's world, the interest in home businesses, if there's one thing that you take away from this session, is enormous. And it used to be, I think probably back, Joe, 40 years ago, it was, you know, just something that women started as a hobby on the side. It has become a serious addition to family income, to financial security, and then there's all these kind of tangible things that Lisa just went through, and Lisa and Harper have been identifying all these different segments of our population and why home businesses are so appealing to them. So Lisa's talking about baby boomers here. We're going to talk about the intangibles. Harper and Mary talked about the appeal for young moms that goes way beyond the money, right? We need to understand the needs of the different folks in our communities and in our country, so that we understand that when we have a conversation with them about the business, it is very likely to be a conversation that they're going to be very interested in. And that's the big takeaway from today, is you see all the reasons why people are so interested in home businesses.
And you should not, Barb, after this session today, I don't think any one of us should ever have that thought in our heads of, well, I don't know anyone to talk to, or I don't know anyone that's interested in Shaklee. Hogwash, you know? Really, I mean, go out there and start talking to people.
Eat in a restaurant. Chances are the people who are waiting on you may not be their lifelong career that they're hoping for, and so it's really significant, and so I appreciate what you've been saying. By the way, folks have been really responding a lot. There's been a lot of conversation over here about, Lisa, do you know what the source was for that information on network marketing? So one of them came from the Kiyosaki book that was both Kim Kiyosaki as well as Robert Kiyosaki. Some of that, those statistics are in there. But when you had that graphic up, do you know what the source was on that?
I saw it come down the pipeline a few different ways, and I just grabbed the one that I thought was the coolest, which is the girls on the beach. But I don't know, but I'm thinking
easy to Google it.
Very easily Googled. Yeah,
that's right.
Very easily Googled.
Just Google it. Google income for women in network marketing, and you'll find a lot of very current information on that. All right, so Lisa, let's one more slide about the baby boomers, because you talked to us about the tangible needs, the financial needs. Let's talk for a minute about the intangible needs, because this was something that we weren't aware of, and they're really very powerful.
Yes, and I think many times you can have a deeper motivation and a deeper passion from some of these. But before I do that, I want to give everybody a tip. So when you're writing out a little affirmation about not having fear about sharing the business, then write, Joe says hogwash. And you can already hear it. That's hogwash. Because that was a good statement, Joe.
Minnesota expression there, right?
Joe says hogwash. Anyway, I love it.
Okay.
All right. So this particular slide speaks a tremendous amount to me, because these are all emotions that are really rolling around into me. As what do? I have created a really great identity on raising my children, and apparently that kind of goes away. And so there's a lot of people that are not fulfilled, a lot of people that are missing things. Everything on this page applies equally to men as well. So we want you to know that men go through these things, and we're in no way are saying that men should not have these conversations, because I promise you that there's men waking up all over the country today going, is this as good as it gets? Is this all I'm about? Is this all I'm working for? Someone else's future. And I'm just hoping that I don't get killed off in my job next year, right? So these are just feelings that are powerful, that if we listen and talk and explore with people, we'll recognize that Shaklee is a tremendous, tremendous solution for them. And so, Harper.
I think that, and what you're saying, that there are a lot of different places to find business partners. And I think even when we talk about the young moms and young families, that a lot of the things that you mentioned apply to them as well. I know for us, what Shaklee has provided is flexibility, is the ability for my husband to, even now, like it's not just in baby boomers, but he was able to make a transition in his career because of Shaklee, and that was huge for us, and otherwise we would not have been able to do that. And and then also just the ability that he's had to spend more time with our kids because of what Shaklee provides. And I know for a lot of young families, it is very common for the husband to be working before the kids, leave for work, before the kids wake up, and get home after they go to bed, and or if he's not traveling. And so even if finances themselves are not the issue, the lifestyle might be. Yes. And to be able to give that family flexibility to make a different decision, and to make a change, so that they can have the quality of life that they, even if you're not like, well, there's not a financial need there, I'm not going to bring that up. But that whole idea of that flexibility and that time is a big deal. I mean, I find with a lot of people in my stage of life, but young families, young moms who want to stay home, or moms who want to have, additional income for their families, moms who are looking for identity, are looking for passion. I see that a lot. You hear Bonnie Donahue's story, and that goes along with the baby boomers who are looking for, whose children have left the house. They're looking for a place to fit in, money for retirement, who've lost their jobs. Looking at specifics, and there is a great sheet that came in the new distributors packet that they just that Shaklee Corporate just released, that has like pages and pages and pages of ideas of people to talk to. So these are just a few, but if that document that Shaklee provided is fabulous. But musicians, artists, performers, actors, there's a whole group of stories that you can hear from a lot of people from New York, but all over, who that is how they have been able to fulfill their dreams. I think Ashley Cheney talked about that on stage. She's been able to pursue her music career because Shaklee is providing the financing, and Shaklee can be flexible so that she can go and do her performances and work her business when she's not. And those who have a weight loss interest. Teachers are an amazing addition because this is teaching. This is teaching people how to build a business, and this is teaching people how to find health. Coaches, health coaches, and fitness instructors, especially with this whole new program that we have, to help people who have fitness businesses, who are personal trainers, who I see a lot of beauticians talking about their business. Janine Newford talks about how she was always made people beautiful on the outside, and now she's able to help them be beautiful on the inside too, and make them healthy. And there's so many ways to find people who just to think outside the box of what we're at now. We can identify people at in-home events by, I'm hosting an in-home event tonight, and there is, a woman coming who I think would be a great addition to the business. And so when I share my presentation, the business is going to be a part of that. When you're talking to your members, there are so many of my distributors who were members, and then they were able to learn about the business, whether it was in their new member appointment when I talk about it or at another time later. At social events, you may go to a baby shower and meet someone. And for those who don't know, I met Katie Odom at a baby shower. I actually, two of my newest distributors I also met at miscellaneous social events or just in daily living. Kristen Jakubowski on my team, I met her at the gym. Our kids were in the childcare together. You never know who you're going to meet and who is out there, and you just have to have your eyes open.
And Harper, anyway. Go ahead. No, finish up.
Go ahead. No, that's all. I was just going to say, you had some ideas of things to say too.
Right. And so I just wanted to echo exactly what you said. And the whole purpose of this segment in this session is to open our minds. Because how many people, when they think about sharing the business, say, well, I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone who's looking at the business. I don't know anyone to share the business with. Well, actually, you know everyone. Everyone is interested in this. They just don't know. Everyone wants the things that Shaklee has to offer. They're just haven't had someone show it to them in that light. So this is really a conversation to open our minds about what it is that we really can offer and how to think about it. And then you also mentioned sometimes it's not, looking for a specific person in a specific place, but just living your life, at the gym. I was telling Joe this yesterday. I've been really busy, but I had to do a little shopping in the middle of the day because apparently, a girl needs to do some shopping, and there was a 50% off sale at the mall, and so I made
gotta go, right?
But I have a cute shirt because of it. But here's my point: I'm at the Limited, which I happen to love, and the girl there is kind of checking me out, and the guy's on the phone checking for another side at a different store, and she says, "So do you have anything fun going on today?" And my first response is, well, this is the fun part of my day. Now I got to get back to work. That's what I said. And then I thought, now wait a minute. I have a conference call going on at 2 o'clock that is actually I'm really excited about. We had a Olympic hopeful that was getting on the call with Bill Roy, who's the leader of the Pure Performance team. I said, no, wait a minute. The funnest part of my day is this conference call that I'm doing at 2 with an Olympic athlete and a potential Olympic athlete, and I'm just so excited about it. And literally the guy who was on the phone took the phone aside, and he looked at me and goes, what do you do? What kind of business do you have? And so I started telling them I have a nutrition business, and they both said, we're into nutrition. We were just talking about how much water we need to drink. I kid you not. And I'm like standing there going, but I'm getting a shirt. You know what I mean? My brain wasn't ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And then he says, well, do you have a card? And I said, well, of course I have a card. So I get out my cards, and I said, I'm going to send you guys a video that gives an overview of the company, and I said, what are your names? And so, if I was prepared, I probably would have done even a better job. But I learned something. Well, first of all, it's not always bad to go shopping. That's the first thing I learned. So go shopping. But people are going to ask you throughout your day. If you go to Starbucks almost every time, they're saying, so what exciting do you have going on today? Well, answer them. Be excited about your business. Again, Mary was a really great testimony to that. But be excited about what you're doing in your business. Say, I've got a children's event tonight. We're going to have a bunch of moms come over. We're going to talk about nutrition for our kids. This is how we find people that are looking, because we're open about it, right? So that was my lesson learned. Okay, here are some dialogues that you can kind of get stuck in your head, so when you're in places and you're having conversations, it just is natural. So here's a few options. I'm a part of a Community Women. That is very special to me, and I love what we stand for. Or we work to help together to help one another in business. Let's just talk about the beautiful community that, you know, we get as we're kind of at home taking care of our kids, or, you know, whatever your situation is, where we get to be a part of a group of people that are like-minded and want to be healthy and want to help. We're paying forward what we've learned about health and prevention. So you can just see a couple of little sentences and wordings, but I would really challenge you to just create a few of your own that really touch your heart, so they just roll right off the tongue. So go ahead, Harper.
And we just put together a few other dialogues, just different things that you may, just to help you kind of figure out what you want to say. You know, I often say, there's a few on here, and I often say, you know, this may or may not be for you, but, you know, there's a webinar coming up in our business, and I thought of you because, and I always include why, because there are certain characteristics about people that make you, you know, whether it's something going on, you know, I know that you guys are looking for some options, and I thought this might be a good option. Or I know that you are so passionate about health and helping people, I thought that you might want to take a look at this. Or, you know, I know you've been looking for some opportunities to stay at home, so that they know why you thought of them, you know, and inviting them to one of these events that we talked about. And another, you know, when you discover a need, responding with, well, I have something you might want to check out. I had recently had a conversation with someone just like that, where they specifically were talking about a need that they had, and that was how I responded. Like, you know, this may or may not be the solution for you, but I have this opportunity that, you know, could be exactly what you're looking for. You know, and being able to say, you know, if I sent you a short, like just like Lisa said, if I sent you a short video, would you be able to watch it by Friday, and setting up a call? I think that sharing our story, sharing other people's stories, because even if, whether you're new and you're like, I don't really have a story, I signed up last week, like, what am I supposed to say? Share someone else's story. We have so many stories in these calls and the webinars that we do, and you know, the power of our profession, whatever they are, you will hear stories and share. You can share someone else's story. Or if you're in a different stage of life, I shared a story recently. I shared Becky's story. Okay, I need you to be quiet. No. I shared Becky's story with someone who was in she's an empty nester. So my story isn't going to resonate with her anyway. So I shared with her, I said, you know, I was at this conference and my friend Becky shared this story, and I shared Becky's story, and I was like, and I thought of you. And and for me, even lately, where my wording has been saying things like, I can't help but tell you this because of what it's meant for me. I want to, you know, I can't help but share that, you know, because I don't know who's looking, and just putting it out there for people.
Yeah.
But just how to initiate.
Really nice phrases. They're real nice.
Thank you. How to initiate conversation, I think, is important, and just starting to talk to people. Hey, how was your weekend? How was the beginning of the school year? Because unless you're asking people how they're doing and what's going on with their life, you're not going to know what their needs are, and you're not going to know how you can help meet their needs, or how this is going to be a part of their life. You know, ask them questions, find out what's going on with them, and sharing with them your story. You know, I've been there. Like, you know, this is my story. This is what I found was valuable.
So good. And Harper, everything you said was genuine and natural and honest and about them. And that's why it works, because they're not just one of millions that are being pitched to. There's someone that have been thought of because they're a human being with human issues, and you are being open enough to connect with something with them that might help. I loved it. So, all right. So here's just something that I have worked at saying and kind of use when I typically want to talk with a member about the business side of things. And I'll do this phrase sometimes at a new member appointment. I will always do it if I have a member who's in a happy moment. And what I mean by that is if I'm doing my member care and I'm checking in and someone's loving a product, that is a good moment to talk about some options because they are in their happy place and they're open. So I'll say something like, I don't know if you've ever thought about the business side of Shaklee, but maybe you'd like to sit down and take a look. If it's not something you're interested in now, it might be down the road, and I'd just like you to see what's available, right? So it's just a comfortable way to say, hey, can I show you the opportunity, but it's the dialogue I've come up with.
Well, and I just one quick thing on that. I love the use, share, build, because I think that is a great way to give people options using that phraseology or whatever, that they have those 3 options. And these are your options, so we give them their options. And I've even approached someone long down the road who, it just stood out to me and reached out to them, and it's been very successful. So
I totally agree. And Joe and I were having that conversation as well, is that use, share, build concept is a really nice one, and brand new people can come in and start being comfortable with the flow of that language because it's very, very strong but good, So I had a great conversation with Michelle, who's one of our leaders who's on today, and we were talking about she's got a great in-home coming up and how we're going to structure it, and this was one of the things that we talked about. So, and she said it so beautifully, there's really 2 ways Shaklee can help people. One is with our products and helping them be healthier, and one is with our business and helping them find a way to earn some extra money. How simple is that? And so I'm going to kind of work at the beginning of all of my presentations just saying that there's 2 ways that Shaklee can help you, because one of the things that we're working on in our in-homes is becoming just a little bit more balanced, where we have a balanced ratio of business to product. And so by setting it up with this, these are the 2 ways, and so these are the 2 things that I'm going to show you today. Anyways, that's what we were thinking, and I'm pretty excited about it because I think it's a very comfortable and nice way to talk about the business and see who might be looking for something.
There are a lot of options when you're talking about sharing the business. Inviting people to attend something, to be part of something, a one-on-one appointment, a 3-way call with your upline, or even a 3-way call with someone else in Shaklee who is in their stage of life. I've done a call with another friend who is in this, who used to be a nurse, with someone who's a nurse who's looking to make that transition. If you know different people, but a 3-way call is a great opportunity. A small group presentation. We've done online webinars. We've done Facebook parties. A larger company event, conference calls. We have so many options for ways that you can share the opportunity, but you can also share just by inviting them to review some materials. There are printed tools that Shaklee has, that great Live Well brochure that's beautiful. We have CDs and DVDs. We have websites. There are all of those. Power of Our Profession webinars are available. The tools are there's so many tools that are available to you, and it's really to give people a picture of what Shaklee is and who they are. It's an easy way to fit into their lives, whether they are far away and you can't necessarily invite them to an in-home meeting, to be able for them to review and look it over, and those are so well done. And sometimes if you're new and you don't know exactly what you want to say, they're a great opportunity to share with them and to guide your conversation, and then to set up a call with an upline leader.
Click, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's the one I just did.
That's good. Yeah, excellent.
Resources.
Okay, and then that leads us to action steps. And Lisa, let's go through the action steps, and then I want to make a comment on one of the earlier slides. Go ahead.
All right, so make a list of people that you would like on your business team and come up with a comfortable way. One of our leaders, Cassie, it's so cute. She calls it her big fish list. But she went home and she thought, who do I know that has the very, very best characteristics that would just thrive in Shaklee, and they would just be so good at this. And she made this big fish list. Do that, and then come up with a very complimentary approach and say, listen, I made a list of people that I thought would be so good at this, and I don't know if it would be a fit for you or not, but can I share it with you, right? So make a list, and it doesn't have to be a big fish list, but make a list of people that you want to share the business with, and then write out some bullet points. Get comfortable with it. Practice with your cat or your dog because they're never critical. Do that all the time. Share some videos. Get a couple of go-to tools, just like Harper said. And so a lot of times, if I'm going to share something with someone and we can't get together for a few days, I'll always send them something to watch in the meantime because I want to stoke the fire. So I'll say, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Okay, we'll see you on Thursday. But in the meantime, I'm going to send you a little video so you can watch, and then we can talk about that when we get together. 3-way calls, great way to build affirmation and confidence and validation. And then, of course, we have a lot of really good archived talks on this topic under Assembling Our Business Team if you want to go through and pick those up. And Chris does a great job at labeling those. You could just, see the titles and boom, right what you're listening to. So,
Joe, people were asking about, we had actually 2 sessions on financial realities of Americans. And you were looking one up. Wasn't it Skilling Up in the spring of 2014 that you found that one with Ryan?
I'm not sure.
I want to say February of 2014, Skilling Up, and at that archive, betterfuturestartstoday.com, a couple folks were asking about that. But
I can put that in the email.
The recap. Okay, that would be good. Joe, could you flip back there there's a wonderful slide that Harper was covering that had the prospecting ideas of where to find our business partners, and it listed all the different categories of people and sort of their needs. So we had that one. It had teachers and coaches and musicians and artists and baby boomers and so forth. That is a very interesting slide because imagine if you knew somebody who was a musician, who was an artist, and you wanted to approach them because now you know that there are many people in the artistic fields who are attracted to Shaklee. And even though we can tell you all the reasons why, because one of the things that actors will tell you and dancers and people who are performers is that at the end of every, quote, gig that they have, they're unemployed again. And so what is so appealing to them about a Shaklee business is it provides consistent income. Now, it's good for us to know that so we know why we might want to approach those folks, but you don't want to go in and tell them why they should be looking at a Shaklee business, right? And so this is where we apply that principle about you cannot offer a solution until they acknowledge the problem. But what you can do by understanding that is if you have a friend who is a musician or a performer, or I'm just using that as an example, or who is a baby boomer or any of these other categories, what you can approach them with is to say, I was just learning that there are many people in our business who are in your profession who have started home businesses. And I wanted to ask you about that because they were talking about why they wanted to do that for a more consistent income. Now you can say, tell me about that. Let them tell you the problem with their profession. Let them tell you that they're a baby boomer and they've got college bills and they haven't begun to save for retirement and so forth. So you can use that as a reason to open a conversation and then use a tell me about to let them tell you what their circumstance is. You could say, I was just talking to some of my colleagues, or I was on a conference call with some of my colleagues, and they were talking about kind of the emotional void that's created after kids leave the house and go off to college and on to other things. And you're in that situation kind of now, aren't you? How was that for you? Tell me about that. And you see, you give people a chance. And what was so interesting about Mary's story this morning, and even Michelle's this morning, things Harper, and and Lisa have shared is think about, even though those financial needs are keen and very important, everybody mentions the other stuff, the intangible stuff, the being a part of the community, the contributing to the greater good of others, that we all have that desire. And if we can, how blessed are we to be able to earn a living at the same time that we're making that contribution. So that's a great slide, and I love the dialogues, Lisa and Harper, that you have offered, because they're just conversations. If that's the point we want to make. They're not a sales pitch, right? They're just a conversation. Joe, any questions that we need to field over here?
I think there's just a little clarification on what Caitlin is doing, Lisa. The weekly challenges, that was where people, in other words, people participated in this. They bought a Get Clean kit. Then the weekly challenge was clean the dirtiest thing in your kitchen, take before and after pictures.
Yeah, and then post it, and then we'll do a drawing from everyone who shared about, cleaning the kitchen with their Get Clean kit, or getting stains out of laundry, and then they did a drawing. And I'm not 100% sure what the prize is. I know that there will be a scour-off prize involved. I think they were talking about maybe $5 off of shipping. They were massive. It's a smart thing that these girls are doing, because there's excitement, but they're not giving away the bank. You know what I mean? Just little gifts for cleaning with this awesome product and sharing about it. So they talk about gift cards and stuff. Yeah.
Free products are always my favorite, because it's a tax deduction for you. Right. It's PV for you, and it introduces somebody to another product that they're about to follow. That's kind of a win-win-win.
Like an herbal multi-purpose cream, or something in a different product line. Get them introduced to the fantasticness of Shaklee skincare, anything like that. But yeah, those are things. They're still only a couple weeks in. This is because it's a month-long thing, but those are the things that they've talked about. So
somebody was.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to the next question.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
What is Crystal's conversation with people?
We're going to invite her. Next week, if we think she's going to be available, and we're going to hear what she says, because interesting that she's so new. She's barely had any training, but this is such a perfect fit for her. She's coming out of a military family. Her husband was in the military. That's how she met Michelle, and those folks get moved around all the time. She's now in Missouri. She was in England with Michelle, then she went to Louisiana, and now she's in the St. Louis area. And so, she is sharing with people something that she has found that she loves. So we will have her for sure, so we can talk to her, and here's what she's saying. Excellent.
Good idea, Barb.
Mm-hmm. I love Patricia Arquette was the.
That's the one. Thank you for.
Give her points, right?
Yes.
Someone said, I missed the very beginning of the pre-call. Was there a Facebook event training source or a Facebook event to duplicate?
It was the duplicate, and we talked about the, getting healthy for back to school. And Joe and I will figure out if we can get. I honestly think everybody will appreciate the link better. So if we can get a link in the attachment that Joe does, where you can just click the link and view the past event, that would be better. But if it doesn't work, then I will assemble the slides in the dialogue so that people can go through and take a look.
Okay, great.
In fact, I would love to begin to create a library of Facebook events at our archive site, because they really are a very nice venue for people. And what's a little tricky is that there's the text part that they print, and then they go and grab the video inserts and the graphics and so on from a different place. And so we'd have to figure out how to put that in a way that people can duplicate it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Kathy's asking, where can we find the document from Shaklee that Harper is talking about, lists of people?
That's in the distributor kit.
I emailed it to you, Barb.
Good. It's in the distributor kit, right?
I emailed the version of it to you.
Good. Okay. So we'll attach it, but anyone could find that when they get the distributor kit that they even purchase, right, with $49.95, or with the gold kit. Doesn't it come in there now?
Hope so.
Harper, does it come in
Yeah, and
there?
it's, I mean, on the Shackley Effect page, it was recently posted as a PDF, like the whole new distributor document. You should be able to find it on your, just on your member center.
Yeah.
And it's just a page of the new distributor document.
Very good. Okay.
What 3 to 5 minute video are Lisa and Harper emailing to prospects?
I love the new Shackley Effect video, and I love the new Life Plan video. And every time I send the Life Plan one out, I say, now you have to promise me that you're going to watch hard for Captain Mark Kelly, because he's going to show up in there. I just think he's the bomb, you know. So those are the two that I go to the most. But we have a 30-minute video. It's 29 minutes and 50 seconds, so our group calls it the 2950 video. That is the overview that we created of the products in the business. I'll send that. If I can get someone to watch a 29-minute video, I'll send that too. And that's on the Better Future site. That's open to everyone. It's right under that first tab of Start Here.
Well, I think you just go to Shackley.tv and you look at those, what videos are there, and then you send a Shackley Effect video that the person you've talked to could relate to.
That's right.
And there is that 12-minute video too. There's a 12-minute video that's really great that has all the video snippets of the opportunity all in one. That's a really good middle ground between the 3 minutes and like 30 minutes.
Yes.
That is really good.
You know what that's called, Harper? That's at Shackley.tv.
Yes,
it's called like the Shackley Opportunity full version.
Yeah.
Again,
so it's like full version or
isn't it the business overview? Yeah, it's good.
It's under the Shackley Opportunity. It says the Shackley Opportunity full length.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you know when you go to Shackley.tv, there are different categories in there. So for the Shackley Opportunity, it'll be under that category. Very good. Lisa, do you want to read Diana's comments?
That's very moving.
Which comments? What are you talking about?
In the question segment, Diana Miller, can you see it?
I will scroll down, sorry.
Okay.
You know, here's a little side note. My question box is so tiny. Not that I'm complaining, but it's so tiny. Okay, you want to read it out loud? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I found it. The webinar resonated so much with me. When my husband lost his job because they eliminated the position about 5 years ago, I felt like we were at each other's throats, and I felt helpless. We are calm. Yes, she is. I will attest to that. Amazingly calm and clear this time, and Shackley is honestly helping our marriage. Being able to experience this has been so helpful for our business. Shackley is a huge blessing, which you may not even know how yet. So I love that. I agree. And, you know, I tell people, you get this beautiful Shackley present, and then you just keep opening it. It keeps giving, and there's like more surprises in there. So that was beautiful, Diana. Thank you.
But, you know, if there's one thing we've all learned, it's that can happen to any one of us at any time.
Yes.
Losing a job, unexpected. I mean, that was one of the points that Ryan Guerra made, is we've been through one very, very serious recession not very long ago. And if there's one thing we've all learned is we have got to be reminded it is time to create savings accounts and college accounts and emergency fund accounts and retirement accounts. Americans are not very good at saving, it turns out. And we've got to get better at that. And you need a source of income in order to do that. So that's, I so appreciate that.
Yeah, it might not be just a loss of, not just, but a loss of a job. It could be a loss of a spouse. It could be a debilitating illness. So it's what Jim Rohn always says, you know, when that could never happen to me happens.
Yes. Okay, and so, oh my gosh, thank you all for your nice comments here.
I see a little question that we can answer. Someone says, how do you post or email those Shackley.tv videos? Okay, so it's so simple. You'll be thrilled that you do this. You pull up the one you want to share. So you're seeing it on your screen. And then copy and paste the URL. So if you don't know what the URL is, but at the very top you can see the long box, it's the address. So copy and then paste it into an email and you send that email, and the minute they click on that, it'll go right to that video on Shaklee.tv, and it will start to play. You can do that with everything on the Better Future and the Better Health sites as well. It's the best way to share a video because people don't have to look for it, if that makes sense.
Very nice, yeah. Joe, if there are people who are not on your email list when you send out the recap, Kathy is asking about that, Kathy Ford.
Right, I send out a weekly recap of the webinar. Send me an email. It's Coogan, COOGANJM 3525 @gmail.com, and then I'll add you to the list.
Better do it one more time.
Coogan, JM 3525 @gmail.com.
3525. Okay. All right. And then Better Future starts today. So there are 2 websites. They are by subscription. One is for our Monday night webinars where we talk pretty directly about Shaklee products and how they help various health issues in the body. And that is archived at BetterHealthIn31Days.com. And the other one, Better Future Starts Today, is all our business stuff where you can also get podcasts. And we have 2 wonderful webmasters who take care of that. Michelle and Chris, they actually run that. They record and edit and maintain and archive everything. So they will set that up for you. It's a paid site. I don't know what it is, $14 or $15 or $16. I don't know what it is.
Really
a month, and you can set it, they'll set it up with your picture, your story, a place where you can send your customers, or you can go in jointly with other people if you want to reduce the cost even more. But that we so appreciate them, and so that's their site. They've made that available, so you can have access to these materials ongoing way. So Deanna, just go to those sites, and it'll give you a link to how you can subscribe. We forgot to put that slide in here, Joe, that I forgot.
I think it's in
to do that.
every other one. So,
yeah.
every other one there is. You know what, maybe we could get Carol to post it on the Learning from the Masters thing, because I know Carol has it.
Oh, there's a good idea. Carol Cash, the genius, started that website to put stuff from here. Yes, good idea.
So Carol, if you heard this, let me know if you need it. But if she posts that there, then we can just say go to the group. You know, it's right there. So
Coogan is with a C.
Right.
COOGAN.
Carol is on it.
Carol, girl. All right. Thanks, everybody. Great webinar. Harper and Lisa were getting lots and lots of thanks and gratitude from them.
Just go out and start having some conversations with people. Be, like Lisa said in Harper, be natural, be sincere, be genuine, and just see what you can learn about people.
I had a few people already text me, say they need to go shopping more. So I'm doing my part to stimulate the economy.
I think that could be a business expense, that shirt that you bought. And so for the next couple of weeks now, we're going to be talking about this topic because there is so much bonus reward with the fast track that we want to make sure everybody understands the importance of having this conversation with people about business options and income options, and also because that's what helps you build your team. And so we'll be having more to come next week. We'll be talking in more depth about more dialogues, what to say when people ask you what you do. Harper and Lisa had just some wonderful responses today. We'll capture all of those and have those for you. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next
week.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.